Hello. We're talking about Four Flies on grey velvet. This is the 4K UHD from Shameless Entertainment, I think. Is that even... Do they have a second name, or is it just called Shameless? Is it bad that I don't know that? It's probably bad that I don't know that. It just says Shameless. Alright, fair enough. Shameless 4K, or S4K. So we'll do a packaging unboxing, and I'll give you my thoughts and feelings on the transfer. But let me open this baby up, because I just got it in from Outrun DVD. Gotta love when they have just that right plastic strip so you can just shimmy everything off. I love it. Now for context. While we're doing packaging, I'll give you context. I don't buy very many Shameless DVD releases. I don't actually think I have any, to be completely honest with you. I might have one or two, but it is a US brand, despite this actually being the UK version, which is really interesting. Like, I say that because it actually has the UK classification sticker. Has some nice artwork, you know, good plastic case. It has the numbers 1883 on the top, which I believe is probably a limited edition element to it. It doesn't stipulate anything about how many units are available. It might stipulate more on the back, but of course, yeah, you get a lot of details on the back, including some visuals, and more of an emphasis on the special features with some brand new interviews and whatnot with Argento. Stuff I should definitely watch. Depends on when I get around to editing this video, if I actually get around to watching those, but I would love to. The thing is, I'm not a huge fan of this film, like, of the Argento films in general. This is, like, one of my least favorites. I've only ever watched it one time, which was back in February of last year, 2023. I did a January. And I found a copy of it on, I think it was on YouTube. It was either YouTube or Tubi, but either way. So it all slides out ever so nicely. It's a fine case, realistically. Like, it's not too thick or anything, but, you know, it's not like a classic Arrow Video kind of case. And you get a bunch of art cards and a booklet and the standard case. So let's look at the thing that everybody loves the most. Okay, actually it's art cards. There's only 2 art cards. Nobody really likes art cards, but these ones are really interesting because you get alternate versions of the poster in alternate languages, which is really nice. So that's 2 on the same side, which is very cool. 4 Flies on Grey Velvet, that seems to be a English poster. I don't know what language this one is. Oh, it's on film D. Oh, it could be in German. Then we have, that's a really nice poster, actually. Very interesting, distinct look to it. And then, of course, Shameless's original Blu-ray cover with the more iconic yellow casing that they usually use. I've seen it in the wild a couple of times at one place. Play music DVD. I've just never bought it. And yeah, you get one poster, single-sided, with the original Italian poster, which I really like this poster. I like how it's just a small plastic poster. It's simple. If you're a big fan of the film, you can easily frame it. Easy peasy. Then you get the booklet. Flies on the Wall, The Inside Stories, which has the same name on the spine, and it just has the Shameless details on the back. Shameless Films. Not for resale, but I love reselling my movies. Anyway, Flies on the Wall, The Inside Stories from Profondo, Argento, The Man, the Myths, and the Magic by Alan Jones, courtesy of Harvey Fenton and at Fab Press. So this is actually an excerpt from another book. And it has different artwork, whilst featuring a big discussion about Argento's films, which is nice, you know? I don't know if this will have spoilers, so I'll try not to show any spoilers, just in case. I can maybe a bit of spoilers there, so I'm not going to show that image. Because I have, like I said, I had seen this before. They got a section on Michael Brandon, who I think is the lead in the film. Well, given how many shots there are of him, I'd have to say so. That's got nudity in it. And yeah, it's a nice looking booklet in total. Tells you about the 4K restoration, other credits and whatnot. What does it say about the restoration? The 4K restoration of 4 Flies on Grey Velvet was carried out by Fondazione Cineteca, I'm not gonna, di Bologna? My god, my Italian. In collaboration with Surf Film, starting with the original Techniscope camera negative and the Italian sound negative made available by Reel One on behalf of Surf Film. The color correction was carried out under the supervision of the director of photography, and then it was processed into HDR Dolby Vision, graded by LSP Median. The restoration was carried out with the contribution of the Italian Ministry of Cultural Heritage and Activities and Tourism. Wow. Imagine being on that board and being like, fuck yeah, let's do it, Giallo. Fuck yeah. And last but not least, you have the standard 4K on the inside, which just has the same details on the back of the standard thing. No interior stuff, but there is, of course, disc artwork, which does say the title in English, which is fine, you know. Sure, it works. I do like how there's different artwork again. Oh, okay. This is good. It has the original artwork for the film, and it has the original version for Shameless's release. I know that, of course, the back artwork still says, oh, we've still got the yellow covers, we're not getting rid of them. I think it kind of works for this, because obviously yellow, giallo, it's the same word, it's the same picture. But yeah, I think that's a really nice addition. I'm a little disappointed that there isn't a Blu-ray, so this even still emphasizes that there is alternate artwork, but that still looks quite nice, you know, 4 Flies on Grey Velvet. But yeah, I would have gotten the US Severin version, but that was tricky to get, so I didn't bother. And then when they announced this one, I was just like, you know what, I don't have the film, I might as well buy it, because as much as I'm not a huge fan of it, I might like it upon rewatch, because again, sometimes with giallos it could just be the mood. So yeah, it still comes special feature-wise with a new exclusive interview of Dario Argento, and a new exclusive interview with star Michael Brandon, as well as interview of writer and assistant director Luigi Cozzi, English opening and end credits, English and Italian theatrical trailers, English TV spot, photo gallery, new English subtitles and SDH, 4K restored HDR and Dolby Vision encodes. It is a 1971 film, comes in English or Italian with English subtitles and additional SDH, mono DTS HD, it's in 235:1, full 4K 2160p HDR, Dolby Vision, 103, it has an apostrophe next to that, that's interesting. It doesn't tell you what the... there's just mono DTS HD for the audio, that's interesting. I was to some degree expecting remastered audio, but at the same time, as long as you get both English and Italian, I'm happy, because sometimes I watch giallos in Italian. Who'd have thought it? So anyway, I'll take a quick squiz at the 4K and Blu-ray and let you know my thoughts on the bunch. Okay, so video and audio and special features. Oh boy, this is really interesting. So I'm actually going to start off with the audio, just so I don't forget. When I said it was DTS mono, it is just one speaker. There is no surround sound whatsoever. I've got a 5.1 setup, 2 on the wall, 2 on the back wall, 1 on the front. It's just coming out of that one speaker. It's no 2.0 stereo or anything. It's no combined mix of the whole entire encompassing system. It's just the one speaker, which is very interesting. And to be fair, it all sounds good. Like, I had no issue with it. Like, the score sounded good, the dialogue sounded good. I listened to it in English, I listened to it in Italian. They're both dubbed in because it's an Argento production. They're going to be dubbed in. The main actor, Michael Brandon, I believe it is an English-speaking actor anyway. So it's interesting. The subtitles as well, because the Italian one automatically comes with subtitles burnt in, are a off-white color with a black, surrounding for every single letter, which is nice. I like that they're off-white, because with Dolby Vision, it doesn't make them glow pure white. I fucking hate that with Dolby Vision on OLED TVs. It's a real annoyance for me. So they actually looked really good. They were in the picture, they weren't below it, because the aspect ratio obviously has black bars top and bottom. But no, I was surprised that the audio was just that. But at the same time, it's fine. It would have been nicer, I feel like, if they did remaster it in some kind of a stereo way, especially for that score. Mostly because when you put the disc on, it has a disc menu, and it has, like, a fly on each thing of, like, play and setup and bonus features and whatever. And it's really amusing to me how you hear the score, and the score is played through the side speakers, but, like, not the back speakers, but the front 2 speakers. So I'm like, why isn't it played in the actual movie like that? It's an amusing thing. Maybe they were able to just get the song separately and, restore it into 2.0 or whatever for just the opening menu, but not for the title credits. It does come with trailers as well for, like, opening trailers for other Argento films, including Suspiria and Opera, both of which I believe were restored by Cult Films, which this was in partnership with. In terms of the video-wise, it looked really good. It opens actually by saying that the filmmakers would wish that you would watch this film in the darkest possible area. And of course, I am filming right now before midday on a fucking Friday, so I'm not exactly given the luxury of a completely black room, but I did turn off all the lights, and it looked really nice. It has a good, healthy grain layer. There's no, like, DNR or anything. The colors look nice. They have a kind of naturally almost muted color to some degree, like naturalistic, but also muted because it's European. It looks how it feels appropriate for how it looks, basically. I had no issues with the videos whatsoever. I didn't notice any problems or artifacts or anything that was disruptive. The only notable scene is very, very, very near the end. If you've seen the film before, you know there's a big thing that happens at the end, and in that big sequence there is a black line that goes through the bottom of the screen, like on the picture itself, almost like the image itself has been cut, and then a couple, maybe 20 seconds later, it's again at the top of the screen. It's not noteworthy or, like, distracting, but it is very much so there, but it's in, like, a jagged line as well, so it almost feels intentional. It's almost like its own framing device for a particular incident, so I don't dislike it. It didn't annoy me at all. I'm pretty sure that's in almost every print. What's nice, at least I should say, for the audio, is the last time I watched this, the version that I'd seen did not have, I believe it was English for the, like, it didn't have a full English track. It had to cut to the Italian track because it, like, didn't have the English for, like, one of the final scenes, including the killer reveal, so all the killer reveal was in Italian. And I'm pretty sure that actually kind of ruined my experience the first time, because I don't think it had subtitles when I first watched it. So I was very confused. I didn't know what the killer was saying, but at the same time, this time around, it has it in English, so I know what the killer is saying, and also it has it in Italian with English subtitles, so I know what the killer is saying. So that's great. But yeah, picture-wise, it looked great. It had a fluctuating bitrate, mostly because, again, it's very dark, so the darker scenes will naturally have a lower bitrate because there's less light. For the opening credits, for example, it's during a drum session, and it cuts between black shots of, like, drumsticks flying up, and the bitrate is exceptionally low because the only light is on the drumsticks, but then it cuts to the image of the guy drumming, and the bitrate skyrockets between 60 to 90. There was some peaks above 90, but for the most part, it was nicely consistent. Yeah, I think just visually wise, this is probably the definitive way to watch the film, unless, of course, Severin had done a very, very similar UHD disc. But for the most part, I think this looks insanely good on its 4K. I'm a bit disappointed by the sound because it doesn't have a stereo mix at all. Like, there's no remasters or whatever, but at the same time, I'm pretty accustomed to a lot of Argento films basically being either in mono or stereo only. I usually try to watch the original track anyway because I like to listen to the original mono mix. And to be fair, it sounded really good, even from just the one speaker. I had no issues from hearing people talk, from hearing sound effects. Like, there's a rainy sequence where two people are talking. There's obviously musical numbers because the guy is a musician. There's Ennio Morricone's score, and all of it sounds really good. It didn't sound problematic at all. So if you're looking for a visually and audio-wise, I think it's really fucking good. Special features-wise is really interesting. It doesn't actually tell you that it comes with introductions. You can watch two different introductions, one with Michael Brandon and one with Luigi Cozzi, which is nice. I didn't actually take a peep into them, but you can watch with either, which is cool. And that could just be a pretty short thing of just them saying, hey, this is the film, enjoy. I imagine it's probably just that. However, of course, you have three different interviews. You do have a legacy interview with Luigi Cozzi, which is 42 minutes long. It's in Italian with burnt-in English subtitles. Then you have a brand new interview with Dario Argento, which is 31 minutes long. exactly the same as the Luigi one, where it's in Italian, because he's Italian, with English burnt-in subtitles, and the Michael Brandon interview, which is also brand new, is 40 minutes long, and is in native English, because he's a native English speaker. So it's got a good cacophony of stuff. You get 3 different angles on looking at the actual making of and legacy of the film, which is really nice. It doesn't have a commentary track, which might be disappointing for some, if anyone cares to listen to it, but at the same time, you have enough special features here that is basically equates to the runtime of the film, so I don't think that's as disappointing. And it's just nice to see these guys talk about the film that they worked on, and their passion for cinema, and their life and journey throughout, cinema as a whole. So that's really nice. So what do I think of the overall product? This brand new 4K UHD of Dario Argento's infamous Four Flies on Grey Velvet, one of his 3 animal trilogy films, including Bird of the Crystal Plumage and Cat O' Nine Tails, is a very interesting presentation of the film. It's definitely, for me, the definitive look and feel of it. It has a great selection of special features. It has, in this case for the limited edition version, nice packaging. I like that the art cards are just alternate posters, and I like it comes with a little poster as well. The booklet is a welcome addition, especially if I want to get more of a critical understanding of the film, especially as someone who loves giallo. This isn't exactly my favorite of Argento's films, but at the same time, I think I can learn to like it a lot more. It's very tonally different to a lot of his films. It has a lot more of a comedic streak. There's a lot more comedic characters. There's a postman especially. There's a lot of times when a main character thinks he's been stalked, and it turns out it's just a random person that he just eventually assaults. And then comedy ensues. So it's got a lot of mistaken identity kind of comedy from it as well. But at the same time, it's a weird mix. I don't think it is completely pulled off with its comedy and horror, but at the same time, it's not bad. It doesn't have as many kills or as much brutality or gore to it that I probably would have preferred from a giallo. But at the same time, it's something different, It's probably better to not want the exact same thing every single time. So I at least give it that. And to be fair, this is a really nice set. Like, it has great artwork, it has some iconic scenes in it. It's very interesting. And yeah, if you don't have the Severin version and you're in the UK or in Australia, this is the way to go. I say in Australia, but you'd have to import it anyway. But at least it's easier because it's Shameless. So yeah, anyway, that's it. I don't think there's much else to mention about this. No, I think that's all. Well, thanks for watching. See you guys next time, and enjoy. Adios.